5 suitcases, $5 million. All cash. Frank Sinatra opened them one by one. Priscilla Presley stared at more money than she'd ever seen in her life. Frank smiled. It's yours. All you have to do is leave Elvis tonight and marry me. What would you do if someone offered you $5 million to end your marriage? Would you take it? Priscilla Presley had to make that choice. And what happened next turned into the most degrading moment of her life. March 1973. Frank Sinatra's compound in Palm Springs. Priscilla had come to talk. Her marriage to Elvis was falling apart. She needed advice. She needed a friend. Instead, Frank made her an offer. Priscilla, I've watched you suffer with Elvis for years. You deserve better. You deserve someone who puts you first. Someone who can give you everything. I can be that person. Priscilla was confused. Frank, I don't understand. Frank walked to the corner of the room and pulled out 5 leather suitcases. He opened them. Each one was filled with bundled $100 bills. $5 million. This is yours if you leave Elvis today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. File for divorce. Marry me. Start your new life. Right now. Priscilla couldn't breathe. Are you serious? Dead serious. I want you, Priscilla, and I'm willing to pay for you. Those words. Pay for you. Like she was a car. Or a house. Something to be purchased. I'm not for sale. Frank, everyone's for sale. The only question is price. $5 million is my opening offer. Opening offer? Priscilla felt sick. This is a negotiation. Everything's a negotiation. Frank lit a cigarette. Take the money. Leave Elvis. Be with someone who appreciates you. It's that simple. But it wasn't simple. Because as much as Priscilla hated being treated like property, $5 million was real. That was freedom money. That was never worry again money. That was walk away from everything money. I need to think about it. Frank smiled. Of course. But the offer expires in 24 hours. Priscilla left Frank's compound in shock. $5 million. To leave Elvis. Was she really considering this? What did that say about her? What did that say about her marriage? When Priscilla got back to Graceland, Elvis was waiting. Where were you? Visiting a friend. Which friend? Priscilla hesitated too long. Elvis knew. You were with Frank, weren't you? Elvis, it's not what you think. Then what is it? Because I'm hearing things, Priscilla. I'm hearing that Frank Sinatra is making moves on my wife. Priscilla wanted to lie, but she was so tired of lying. He offered me money. To leave you. Elvis went very still. How much? $5 million. Elvis started laughing. Not a happy laugh. A bitter, disbelieving laugh. $5 million? He thinks you're worth $5 million? I told him no. But you thought about it. Elvis's eyes were hard. You stood there looking at that money and you thought about it. Of course I thought about it. We're miserable. Elvis, we barely speak. You're never here. And when you are here, you're either high or angry or both. So sell yourself to Frank Sinatra? That's your solution? I didn't sell myself. I said no. But Elvis wasn't listening anymore. He was already making phone calls. Within an hour, he'd assembled his financial team. If Frank thinks he can buy my wife for $5 million, he's wrong. Get me $10 million. Cash. Tonight. Priscilla couldn't believe what she was hearing. Elvis, what are you doing? I'm making a counteroffer. You want to play this game, Priscilla? Fine. Let's play. Frank offers 5. I offer 10. Let's see if he can beat that. This isn't a game. Everything's a game. And I don't lose. The next morning, Elvis called Frank Sinatra. I hear you made my wife an offer. Frank wasn't intimidated. I did. And she's thinking about it. Well, here's my counteroffer. $10 million. Double your price. Priscilla stays with me. You stay away from her. Deal? Frank laughed. You're trying to buy your own wife back? That's sad, Elvis. Says the man who tried to buy her in the first place. Fair point. Frank paused. $15 million. That's my final offer. You can't beat that, Elvis. You don't have that kind of cash. Elvis's stomach dropped. Frank was right. Elvis had money, but not liquid cash. Not $15 million sitting in suitcases. He'd been outbid. Priscilla found out about the bidding war from a friend who'd overheard the phone call. She was horrified. They're bargaining over me? Like I'm a used car? Have you ever been reduced to a price tag? Have you ever heard people you care about discuss your value in dollars? That's what happened to Priscilla. Two of the most famous men in the world were treating her like an auction item. Priscilla called Frank. She called Elvis. She demanded a meeting. All three of them. Right now. They met at a lawyer's office in Los Angeles. Neutral ground. Priscilla sat on one side of the table. Elvis and Frank sat on the other, as far apart as possible. So, Priscilla said coldly, I hear I'm worth $15 million now. Congratulations, Frank. You're the highest bidder. Frank tried to smile. Priscilla, you're misunderstanding this. Am I? Because from where I'm sitting, you two just spent the last 48 hours putting a price on me. Like I'm property. Like I'm something to be bought and sold. Elvis jumped in. That's not what this is. Then what is it, Elvis? You offer me $10 million to stay married to you. $10 million. Not love. Not promises to change. Not therapy or effort or trying to fix what's broken. Money. I was trying to show you that you matter to me. By paying me? Priscilla's voice was rising. I matter so much that you'll write a check? How is that different from what Frank's doing? Because I'm your husband. A husband who's never home. A husband who's too high to have a conversation. A husband who treats me like a trophy on a shelf. Elvis looked like he'd been slapped. Priscilla turned to Frank. And you think I'm so desperate, so empty, that I'll marry you for money? You think that's romance? Opening suitcases of cash like some gangster movie? Frank at least had the decency to look embarrassed. I was trying to show you I'm serious. You showed me that you think I'm for sale. Both of you did. And that tells me everything I need to know. Priscilla pulled out papers from her bag. These are divorce papers. I'm filing today. Not because either of you offer me money, but because this whole situation showed me that neither of you actually sees me as a person. I'm a prize. I'm a possession. I'm something to be won. The room went silent. Both men looked shocked. I don't want your $5 million. Frank, I don't want your $10 million. Elvis, I don't want your $15 million counteroffer. I want my dignity back. And the only way to get that is to walk away from both of you. Priscilla stood up. She looked at Elvis. I loved you. I really did. But you broke us. Not Frank. You chose fame over family. Drugs over reality. And now you're trying to fix it with money because that's all you know how to do. She turned to Frank. And you're no better. You saw a vulnerable woman and you tried to buy her. You didn't offer love or support or partnership. You offered cash. Like I'm something on a shelf. Priscilla walked to the door. Then she turned back one last time. You both lost. Not because you didn't offer enough money, but because you thought money was the answer in the first place. The divorce between Elvis and Priscilla was finalized in October 1973. Elvis never got over it. He'd offered everything he thought mattered. Money, fame, the Presley name. And it wasn't enough. Frank moved on quickly. He'd made his play. It hadn't worked. There were other women, other opportunities. That's how Frank operated. But Priscilla? She became someone new. Not Elvis's wife. Not Frank's conquest. Just Priscilla, building her own life, making her own choices, worth more than any price tag two men tried to put on her. Years later, in an interview, Priscilla was asked about the rumor that Frank Sinatra had offered her money to leave Elvis. Priscilla smiled sadly. Men think money solves everything. But some things can't be bought. Dignity, self-respect, freedom. I had to learn that the hard way. Did Elvis really counteroffer? Priscilla wouldn't confirm it directly. Let's just say I learned that to some men, everything has a price, including their wife. That was the day I realized I needed to leave. The story of the bidding war stayed mostly secret for decades. Both Elvis and Frank denied it publicly, but people close to them knew. They'd seen the suitcases. They'd heard the phone calls. They'd watched Priscilla walk away from millions. That's the true story of the most degrading offer Priscilla Presley ever received. 5 million, 10 million, 15 million. 3 numbers that showed her she wasn't a person to these men. She was a commodity. And the moment she realized that was the moment she chose herself.